Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how to set up an IPSec data center bridge between a OVH or any other hosted ESXi server that's running pfSense like I've done. My last video I showed you how to go from absolutely having nothing, just having a host that just has a failover IP, an IP address, and internet access, and how to connect the pfSense machine to the internet, and how to get it NAT in and out so that we have internet access, as well as you can get port 40 in, and how to set up a network on that side so you can have a client network. And this is pretty much it working in its current state. So I'm going to show you how to set up an IPSec bridge, and I'll be showing me setting up the bridge between if it's current. I'm not going to exactly show the bridge setting up between the two servers, because there's no real reason right now, because it's pretty much the same process, just some more little fiddling that you just gotta know what to do. But I'm going to be showing you setting up from two different remote data centers. So this one obviously is in Germany, and we're connecting back here in the United States. So first thing you're going to want to do is collect some information. You're going to want to know your IP address of your remote data center, that being this IP address that's on the pfSense box, and as well as the other IP address, that being on the data center on this side. You're going to need that IP address. And to make this for ease of use, I'm going to change the theme because it's going to be quite hard to look at. Where is it at? There it is. I just actually the same switch to compact, which is just like the old pfSense theme. That was much more easier to deal with, and it's not this big clunky piece of garbage they're trying to make you use. There you go. Much more easier to deal with. So you're going to go ahead and go to VPN IPSec. And you're going to start off with a blank slate. You're going to go ahead and click on Add Phase 1. We're going to do IKE. We're going to go ahead and use IKE version 2, which is the latest version, IP version 4. WAN, you're going to use the WAN interface right there. And under where it says remote gateway, you're going to put in the remote data center's IP address. Now for me, this IP address changes, so I will be using a specific host name that is hidden and is very special. But for the time being, I'll be using the actual WAN address until I get the DNS and dynamic DNS set up. So you're going to go ahead and put that in, use WAN interface, put in the remote data center's IP address, and put in a description. You're going to name it. So I'm going to actually see how I called it, because I forget how these guys are named. Oh, that's not. Oh, I know what it's called. Academy City Research DC. And what you're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and make sure you got mutual PSK. For the identifier, you're going to put in my IP address and the peer IP address. And under the pre-shared key, you can go ahead and open up Notepad and just write some shit out. Make sure you hold on to it. But go ahead and put some stuff in there. And note how I'm not showing you this yet, because I can't show you this because I have to put in the have to actually get that key, and I'm not going to show you my fucking pre-shared key for obvious reasons. But you're going to go ahead and put in that key. Put AES 256 SHA-1. If you don't want to use SHA-1, it's up to you. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and bump this DH group up to 14 for 248 bit. And for the lifetime, I'm going to increase this to 48 hours, because I do not like when these things drop and I have long copy transfers going on and it causes issues. So I'm going to increase the life cycle to 48 hours. And then if you want to, you can, I'm going to enable split connections, because in my case, I would rather there be a lot of connections for each network instead of being just one pipe that can get congested. Just depends on your service provider. I know how my service provider is, and I want to keep it the best way. Keep all these settings in mind. You're going to need to replicate this on the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the pre-shared key, and I'm going to pause the video and put that in real quick. Go ahead and click on that save button, and once you've done that, you can go ahead and click on apply changes. Now once you've done that, you're going to need to do the same thing. We're going to go over to, I'm going to bring the window over onto your actual local data center side. You're going to go ahead and click on add another phase 1. I'm going to do IKE version 2 IPv4. I'm going to put in my WAN address, which for me is a RedNet. For the remote gateway, you're going to put in the IP address that's over here. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the WAN IP address. you're going to go ahead and drop that in here. We're going to name it, so Des Moines DC number 1, even though they have one named 1 but incorrectly named it. Same thing, same thing. Just make sure all these settings must match. They must match. So I'm going to go ahead and real quick make these settings match. And I went ahead and replicated and I went ahead and applied the changes. Now, if all is working, we should be able to go here and click on Connect VPN. And that's if it's not either it's not working because of an issue or it's not working because it's not matching. Let's check real quick. I think we may actually enable this. I think we should. We may actually be fine. I think we just need to go ahead and start putting our phase 2. Now we're gonna go ahead and go. I think because it's like has absolutely fuck all I can do, so we might as well just go ahead and put the phase 2 and then get that started. So go ahead and show phase 2 entries. Click on Add Phase 2, and what you're gonna go ahead and do as I go ahead and check my existing ones to know what the fuck I'm doing. Make sure I keep my encryption and everything the same. You're going to go ahead and under Tunnel 4, put your LAN subnet or whatever your subnet's called for your local area network. Leave that the same and put the network. This is going to be the remote network. So you're going to go ahead and then click on wait for the connection to come back. Oh, I really need to get IPSec up because I'm getting tired of this shit. Come on. Come on. Boy, IPSec was nice because IPSec. That's what I love IPSec about because it smooths all that stuff gets smoothed out. Did you freeze them again? All right. So anyway, 192.168.0.0. For my case, this is one we'll be using. Is that network? Are you not focused? You're not focused, are you? You are an ass. Anyway, sorry about that. You're gonna go ahead and put that in there. Make sure you got that done. And I'm going to real quick copy pasta some stuff so that way it looks proper. I do suggest putting the proper descriptions in here so that way you know what's what. Because as your networks get more complex, you're going to have a lot of different phase 2s going on here. So you can go ahead and set up your encryption algorithms. I'm going to leave them the same for the time being. And then I'm actually going to... You can leave that the same way. I'm actually not going to change that. I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and check to make sure that exists. What you need to do is you're going to need to go onto this side. You can, don't apply change. You can go ahead and apply change. I don't apply change because you don't want it connecting right now. Go ahead and yet again under phase 2, create another phase 2 and match these settings like I said. So in my case, I'll be adding one. We'll be doing the network interface 10.1.0.0 Cider 24, and oh, you bastard, we're going to go ahead and copy that, make sure that you think. I'm going to go ahead and replicate this and I'll come right back. Alright, so now that both sides are pretty much looking identical, well, identical in a sense that they both look the same, but you have changed to make sure the networks are matching on each side. Once you've done that, go ahead and click on Apply Changes on both sides, and then you should be able to click on up here, click Connect, and you'll notice it should be saying Connecting. We should see this, and we should see Established Connection, and we should see right here, we should see that coming up. And if I go over to the same thing on my side, give it a second, I'm going to pull back a second, we should see the connection replicated over here. Once it loads. Not, I would not be fucking surprised if Kenori just took a shit. It could be a conflict because IP addresses are the same, and I probably should not be using similar IP addresses. I'm probably actually going to change the network addresses on these sides so that way they don't conflict, because right now they're fucking conflicting. Please, will you load and stop fiddling? I'm going to show you right now that they're actually connected. If I can get this to stop fucking around. They probably dropped the other IPSec tunnel because of the same IP address and they call it so confusing. So 192.168.0.65. Go back. We should see a prompt like that, which shows me that now we've successfully bridged these two data centers together. They now both can access resources on each side. So if I go here and HTTPS 192.168.0.65, Should bring me a default IIS page because this is the certificate authority. But you see now that we should have network. We should now be able to connect into there. Now, one thing to note is that you have to do one more thing with this. If you're not getting traffic, that could be because you don't have the firewalls. You need to go to Rules under Firewall, and under here you need to go under the IPSec setting on both sides. You're going to need to go ahead and click on Add. Go ahead and set protocol any. Make sure IPSec, IPv4 any, and it should look like this on both sides, so that way traffic can pass both ways. Now, if you want to restrict things down, you're going to need to set up. You're going to need to set up the firewall rules just as if in regular firewall rules, but it's going to be the opposite side, not on the local side, on the opposite side. So once I've done this, I now should be able to connect to that host. So if I bring up remote desktop in 10.1.0.21, we should now be able to connect to that host. So if I do back, well, you can see it's working, but I'm not going to connect because I'm actually going to drop this connection right now because I know this is actually causing my other data center to have a fucking issue. And all I'm doing is causing more fucking problems. So we're going to go ahead and go to IPSec, and we're going to momentarily disable that, drop the connection, so that way this guy can unfuck itself. Because I know right now I'm just calling it a fucking huge issue because you can see my other data center just pissed off, and right now it should come right back. Good, because I know I'm causing VMware to lose its shit right now. But anyway, that's how you do it. Just as you can tell, do not use the same IP addresses on both sides. I just learned real quick how to do that. So this won't be 10.2. But anyway, that's how you do it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.